What's up, YouTube? Blade Check 101 coming at you with another review. I wanted to go over a certain type of knife now that seems to be back and gaining in popularity. I've already done a review on a couple of them. The type of knife I'm talking about is a Kiridashi. For those of you who don't know, a Kiridashi is basically a Japanese equivalent to like a Stanley tool, like a Stanley cutter and an X-Acto knife, a utility knife basically. Typically it was used in woodworking, but I mean today it's had so many different uses, from just that, simple woodworking use. If anyone has a lathe, you might have a chisel that has a similar grind to it. All different types. So this type of knife, it goes, and from there it goes all the way, to a tactical knife, and that seems to be the kind of the shining spotlight for it right now. Just a lot of people still don't really know about it, so I figured I'd make a video, get the name out there. Kiridashi, the word means to cut out. Kiri is cut, dashi is out, I think. But the word actually means to cut out in Japanese. So let me introduce you to a couple of them. All of the Kiridashis I'm about to show you are made from the same guy, made by the same guy, and that's Jason at ecosnives.com, ecosnives.com. I've done some knives of his before. I have plenty more that I can show you in different videos, but just as an intro, ecosnives.com. As of today, today is what, June 16th, no, excuse me, June 17th, 2011. He doesn't have anything up there right now. They're having some computer troubles, but he will have all kinds of stuff up there, and he always does a bunch of Kiridashi, small, big, whatever. And so I just want to show you a couple of them. Let me just grab all my Kiridashis, and I'll show you the sheaths that go with them too as I go. Just give me 1 second. I know I should have had these already, shouldn't I? Alright. Okay, now some of these are kind of just like neck knives, and others of them are more belt carry, whatever. Depending on how you want to carry it, is how you will. Let's start out with real basic and real small. This one is, he calls it a mini Kiridashi, basically, and none of these are really true to the old style Kiridashi. They basically used to just be a piece of hardened steel with this kind of angle edge on them, and that was it. Sometimes they'd be decorated, and they would sometimes have a leather sheath that they would just put them back in. But so he's kind of modernized it a little bit, but they still work exactly the same. They're still great knives. But here's one. This is a 3.5 inch overall knife. It's really small. If you were to use this, I would say, well, I use it for a utility knife, in place actually of razor blades at times. It's extremely easy to sharpen just because it's so thin, and the edge grind on it, as opposed to the actual bevel. So you can see it's a double grind, but then it's a right-handed chisel grind just on the right-hand side, and that's it's really nice for sharpening. It's just nice and easy to do. And as far as like getting scraping stuff off counters or whatever, works great for that. Slices through boxes like you wouldn't believe. Awesome little knife. You basically kind of hold it like this. The handle's almost there as like a ceremonial thing, if you will. It's just there, to make it a little bit more comfortable for you. A great knife. Staying in that same size, he also does this type with a micarta-like handle. You can see that. He does some absolutely beautiful work with those. He hasn't been coming out with too many of them lately, just because, I mean, it's harder for him to get where he is and everything. All of these, by the way, the ones that I have are, except for two, are 5160 steel, which is a spring steel basically from a truck spring, which makes it extremely tough and durable. But this one, you can already see that you have like kind of different angles, with the Kiridashi. You have a bit of a finger choil in this one. Different finishes. These are both hammer finishes, but this one's got like a tiger grass pattern, it's called. Very, very cool. And the micarta in here is beautiful. The camera really won't do this justice, but it's got all kinds of colors in there: green, black, yellow. Just it's a awesome, awesome color scheme. This one is awesome. He's been doing these lately, and they're really, really cool. This one is a knife that I haven't even used yet. I've just been carrying it as a neck knife just to test it out, and it's fantastic. This one is a bamboo cutout Kiridashi style. This one has got a little bit of a more pronounced tip on it, and some of these he does back wedges and all kinds of things. This one is just plain razor sharp. The actual thickness of this stock is 1/4 of an inch, but because everything is so like waved out and everything, you can see that it's got an incredibly thin feel. It's lightweight. It's really, really nice. The handle is just, it fits perfectly into your hand, and I mean, it's just, this thing will just slice perfectly through anything you could ask it to, boxes, whatever. Now when you're getting something like this that's that thin, you want to be careful about using it on things like wood, and you know, if you need to cut anything really, really hard, or if there's a possibility you could drop it on a hard surface, you got to be kind of careful. But as a simple utility knife, just for everyday things, awesome. Let's go to an extreme, couple extremes. This one is one that he custom made for me. I love this knife, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Oh, by the way, the sheaths on these are really simple. The first one I showed you, I have some of these on paracord already for my neck knives and everything, but this little guy goes in here. Just simple little neck knives. All of his Kydex sheaths are 1-inch spacers from the center of the holes, so a mini tech lock, you can use it on that. Or he also sends you what do you call it? Zip ties, so you can actually attach this too, and it works really, really well for that. It retains nice and, you know, nice and snug and everything. It's basically a friction sheath. It's nothing special. This one that I showed you, this is the sheath for it. It goes around the handle scales just a little bit. It also retains very well. Just a quick little tug, and it's good to go. This one, again, none of these are anything terribly special, guys. It's just this one kind of slides in here. With the bamboo, it's a little bit harder to get the angle right on how it's supposed to slide in, but it works nonetheless. And for this one, I have this one set up on a tech lock, on a mini tech lock, as I told you. Fits with the holes right here. Slides right in, retains very, very well. It goes over the micarta. He's also able, guys, to do training knives. He's not taking any custom orders right now because he's really, really busy, but he can do training knives with this. I got a steel one and an aluminum one for contact practice, and a steel one just for solo practice for like on a heavy bag or something like that. So the feel is exactly the same. The scales on this one are that same kind of micarta. He chiseled these ones out. Let me get that. So like the pattern, if I push forward on this handle, I'm not going forward. I've already got a review out on this knife, and this is such an amazing, amazing knife. You do have to be a little bit careful about staining on these knives. I've got a little bit of staining on here, just from, you know, using it kind of hard and everything. And I mean, they stand up incredibly well though, regardless. But yeah, awesome on this one too. This one's beautiful. This one is another custom one that he did for me. This one has a downward swedge on the back. It's unsharpened, but what that does is it gives me a little bit more accuracy when it comes to using that fine tip. I can actually place it better just because it's in line with my hand just a little bit more. The finish on this one is the same as the last one I showed you. It's just a basic hammer finish. Both of these are over 1/4 inch thick, but they slice incredibly well. It's enough to, I got these as tactical backups, you know, so the swing, it's just enough mass to get through something in a swing, and it doesn't really slow you down at all. But the handle on this is just absolutely beautiful. This one is like, it's got all kinds of beautiful colors in there. And the way you did it kind of looks like a wave pattern. Really nice. And then this is one of the newest ones that I have from him. Again, kind of simple, basically utility. You know, just goes in its sheath. I don't know how I'm going to be carrying this one. Probably it might be on a tech lock. I'm not sure, but you know, pulls out. They retain really well. Pulls out pretty easy. This one again has a little swedge on it. You know, really nice grip. This one's a paracord wrap. What he typically does with the paracord wrapping is he does an under wrap, like usually black or something, and then he'll do a different color on the outside of it. This one was actually just a regular royal blue, and then what he does with the paracord is he dips it in a resin, like a lacquer kind of thing, that basically keeps it from ever unwrapping. He does that with all of his cord wraps, and it works incredibly well. This one has got a really just, I mean, the sharpness of these things is just absolutely outstanding. This one is about probably like an 1/8 to a 3/16, somewhere around there, thick, and it's the perfect size. It's nice and light. You know, awesome knife. As far as the use on all of these, I mean, something like this, you know, if you're trying to get through a box with something like that, you think you got the wrong knife. However, something like the one that I just showed you, you know, something like this, if you're trained in, you know, using smaller knives to, you know, defend yourself, or you know, as a tactical alternative, some of these are great hideout knives. Even this one, you know, and some of you might laugh, but even this, you know, if you have a good grip on this, and you get trained in smaller knives and just using them to turn the tides in a defensive situation, and look out, I'm going to be doing a review on a video on just that, hideout knives and, you know, their place. Perfect example right here. I mean, thin, concealable. You could tuck that anywhere. Put it in your pocket, just yank it out, and just a little slice from that is going to just throw open a wound that is just going to cause enough pain, possibly get to tendons, and just turn the tide of a fight enough so that you'll be able to walk out of there alive. You know, and we never want to use our knives that way, of course, but, you know, if that dark day comes, you know, I definitely want to have something on me, and if it was this, you got to use it. You know, that would just be a shame not to. But so just keep that in mind, guys. The Kiridashi, it's a great design. If you get something, you know, with like that kind of thickness, this one is actually really good for utility, I've found. But it's you know, it's a 1/4 inch thick piece of steel. What I like about it is that if I need a pry bar, I got it. So basically that's it, guys. All of them are Kydex sheaths. He does offer leather for like an upgrade charge, but you know, do what you will on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And have a great rest of your day.